I hit go live. I think that means I'm live, hopefully. Hopefully I'm live now. Let's find out. Monitor chat. I am live. Look at that. So now I can monitor chat a little more easily. Hello, hello. You're quick. I just give me a second. I accidentally opened. I misclicked. I have Audacity always up as like one of my like little quick things on my application bar, the bottom of my screen, and it faked me out, and I accidentally clicked on Audacity. Okay, so I am going to preface. Gotcha. Well, I apologize for not streaming on Wednesday. I was just absolutely exhausted. At my work, generally our busiest season is the summer, so that kind of was kicking up a notch, and we have a new intern for a little while that I was hoping trained, so I've just been busy work-wise, and it's just been a lot. So I was really tired on Wednesday, did a ton of stuff, but I am refreshed and ready to go today, and I'm going to preface this set of sprites with the fact that I did not sprite the, or I did not do the touch-ups on the pre-evolutions on stream. So I'm gonna pull up what the pre-evolutions look like, just for the sake of like reference. I kind of initially debated if I would, you know, put them up or not, but I think I will, just because I think it gives you a nice bit of like kind of, you know, context on this line. So give me a second while I... Alas, that doesn't work that way. But... Okay, so this is the male of the first stage. You can see they generally they get wider with this evolutionary line to start. That's just kind of how they were set up. Go. I think these ones were technically from some art that the artist on our Fakemon project had done prior. I might have done this on stream. Did I do this on stream? I don't think I did these on stream. I think I did these separately and then sent them, but it was like after I did a stream or something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's the male and the female. This line has like a lot of gender differences. It gets pretty far apart. They use the same color palettes, and they use like similar design ideas, but they're completely different designs. So yeah. So I'm gonna kind of be referencing the colors that I had on the first stage, but I think these ones, they were all initially done with the same exact color, and usually it's best to change it up slightly between evolutionary stages, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Technically, it's since college graduation, we got very slow about doing stuff just because lives picked up and we've had more job stuff to deal with. But technically this is meant to be for a game. I'll leave that for now. So yeah, technically these are meant to be for a game. Currently that game is very unfinished, and I don't know if we'll ever finish it, but that's a little nicer to look at. It's a little nicer. But like, ideally we'd like to have some sort of a finished product someday, but it's not something that we're in any way trying to like desperately complete or anything like that. Like, it's always been a very casual sort of project. Even though it was initially kind of thought of by us as like, oh, you know, so many Fakemon games do like these stupid tropes and stuff like that, and we could do better. I do that with the tail. I like that a little bit more. Well, that's awkward looking. But yeah, so I think one of the things I kind of want to do with this set of Fakemon is to maybe someday just like, I don't know, find a way to utilize them, even if they're not directly in like the game that my friends and I have been working on over the many years that we've kind of worked on this in our own little casual way. So yeah, I guess there's a lot of spots I'm trying to debate where to start. I think, well, I like this dither. I think we've often gone too heavy into it, so I'm gonna try to like reduce the amount of dither work we've got going on. I think this one I'm gonna like try to emphasize the shadow a bit more than the highlight. But this one I'm going to emphasize a little more of the highlight on that end. Maybe like that. Bring in like a little bit of the dither back, but I don't want to bring it out too much. It's actually ice fire. That's something I kind of want to emphasize a little bit more, because we wanted something that had a lot of contrast, and we came up with our initial idea like, oh, we're gonna have like an ice fire type, and you know, we wanted to kind of have it feel like it's sort of antithetical in some ways. So what we opted for is like this very contrasting, like light blue, light orange type thing. But I think what we kind of like, what I kind of want to do is I want to kind of dial the colors into a more specific place, I guess. I don't know, because I definitely want the colors to sort of evolve as this line evolves. And that kind of means I guess maybe warming up the orange a bit more on some of the parts, or like cooling the blue a little more. Because like, as you can tell from the example difference between like the current initial draft of the sprite for the new two, the top two there, and then the lower two are like the finalized ones for the first stages. Like, if you look at that, you can definitely see that there's a bit of a difference between the colors, even though they were initially done with the same colors. I think I want there to be a difference. I'm just kind of like settling on where that should be and what I want that to be. So yeah. I definitely want to do something with this back. I feel like this should have more of that. Kind of like that, like a little breakup in the colors here. Oh. Gotta make that a hard edge. There we go. And that to be like a little thinner there. And then I'm gonna put a little more of the warm tone outline there. So I'm not 100% sure what this all is. You know what I should do? I should pull up more reference. That's what I should do. So that's going to be on my end. You're not going to be able to see my extra reference that I'm going to pull up. Alright. Concept art. Good art, preferably. 165, I think. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, Tindra mail. Here we are. Hello, hello. Okay, so this is like a shoulder blade. That's the wrong one. All right. Don't mind me as I'm kind of orienting my screen layout so that I can see the most detail with like what I'm doing here. So this is like a shoulder blade. It does kind of, so this does actually pretty closely match what's going on. And I think now that I know what it is, I can kind of read it a bit more. I just might want to do something more to separate the face a bit. I think I want to add more shadow to it to emphasize that it's not getting much light, because the shoulder blade, like any light that's hitting it is like up here. I think I want this, because this top spike here seems to be a little longer in the initial art, so I want to emphasize that and maybe de-emphasize the... de-emphasize the spike that's below it. Just slightly. And there's like a couple spikes that were jutting out from over here. Those I think are fine to not have there. I think Mike made the right call with that. My day so far has been pretty relaxed. I haven't done a lot. Played like a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom shortly before I started streaming, but just kind of been vibing. Actually, I did beat my third temple today. I beat the fire temple. Or not today, over the course of the week. And so now I've just kind of been doing a post-temple clear bit of exploration and kind of doing a little more in the depths, mostly. Kind of in that Elden region, near the volcano. What am I looking for here? spots here, I think these look good. I think these were well translated. So I like that. Same with these spots, I think those were done pretty well. I don't know if me moving this caused any weirdness in OBS. It doesn't look like it does. So hopefully that doesn't make any noticeable changes. But I need... So I don't know why the leg is doing this. Does not need to do that. But I might make it wider, like that. Ah, we got rid of a leg. I think I'll toss that in. Might as well. First off, we've got actually a little bit of the body here needs to peek through. But then we've got this back leg. Then I'm gonna kind of have do this a bit. Even though the rest of the leg pretty much is hidden behind this foreleg, I kind of want to hint at its presence a bit more. I think the spike could be made slightly less fat. I think maybe... tucking the tail in like this a bit more. Matches the art a little bit better, I think. Yeah, and I think that makes it look a bit more like the art while still having it be a bit cohesive. Not sure if I'm fully satisfied with the shape this tail is making here. Like, I feel like this might be a bit too straight. Happy Pride Month. So I'm gonna do this. No. But I don't know if I'm satisfied with that either, so let's try this. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bump this down. I don't know why that's so much more satisfying having it be slightly longer there, but I think that's good. So I work primarily in GIMP. It's basically just crappy free Photoshop. I mean, it's not crappy. It's like open source free Photoshop. If you use it in its base form, it's kind of crappy. I use it in its base form. But like, I don't know. I like it a lot. I think it's a nice sort of open view. I like it more than most pixel art tools I've worked with, just because I think it's easier to define colors in this. A lot of pixel art tools make it a bit awkward and ham-fisted to like get the, you know, like it's just like they present you with like a pool of colors usually and say like this is the default palette, and it's really hard to get like precise changes to that default palette. I think that GIMP makes that really easy because it's not made for pixel art, but like I know the tool that that Mike, the guy who initially did this, lovely Sprite, he uses primarily, at least at this time, Tile Studio. I don't know if he'd still primarily uses Tile Studio or not, but and I feel like Tile Studio really shoves their default palette in your face and makes it really awkward to like deviate and use like your own colors. So that's something I always like to do, is I like to use my own colors. So like that's something I'm going to be doing here, is like kind of that's why I changed like all of the colors from the ones that he sends over. A lot of the times like I change them slightly just to make them less Tile Studio defaults and more I don't know, unique looking. So I think these claws are going to be tricky because a lot of like what I've been doing and a lot of the direction I want our sprites to go is to use like this, you know, black or near black. This is, yeah, this one uses black. Sort of like dark anti-aliasing to like imply extra shade, because that's something that a lot of Gen 3 sprites did. But that does kind of get in the way of the existing palette there. But I could probably pull a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make these slightly less dark. So I'm gonna pull from the Baby's palette, and then I can use that so that we have a slight difference between the claw color and this like kind of dark outline that just kind of comes up. And I think I'm also gonna use some of that for the eye a little bit, just because I feel it can be a bit much to just make it like this solid black outline. But I do like the idea of having some solid black there, like almost as if it's like shading. So I am gonna keep some of that. I think I wanna Okay, I think what I want to do is I want to move these claws slightly. Let's just take all of these and just scooch them by one. like having a little bit lighting to that to help make the claws stand out ever so slightly more than they currently do. And I think similar to that other foot, I want this to be like the furthest extent. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that just to make it clear that this is not the same. Yeah, it's just a little bit like that. I don't know. I don't know how clear that's not great narration, but I don't know. When I get into into pixel art mode, my brain kind of shuts off sometimes. So I apologize in advance for my horrible commentary as I'm like, is this good the way yes? And then, like, you know, stuff happens, and you're just like, what is happening? What's going on? And then I'll sit there and be like, no, not good the way. Not good. And you're just like, what are you talking about, dude? Yeah, no, I see why he did the black lips. I think they actually do add some clarity there, but I think one thing I will do is add a little bit of black outline to the face. Down there. You know, sprites pull me in. Really anything. It's weird. I've never considered myself like a particularly like artistic person. No, whoops. Let me just pick a. I got it fully the last one of the. So I'm gonna keep shuffle on. There we go. Just gonna pull in like Verity. The music stopped. I was just sitting there, I was like, I feel like the music's supposed to switch songs, and I'm like not hearing a new song start up. And I finally figured out why. So I think I want to have like a little less of a highlight there, but a little bit I do like, so I definitely want to keep some of that. If I can bring in all three colors for the ear here, I will. I don't know exactly how much I have color-wise available to me. I might switch the background color to the light orange. Oh, that is a bit much though. A bit done. So I'm gonna keep it where it is for now. And I can just manually count the numbers. It's easy enough. But yeah, I've never considered myself like a super like artsy person or anything like that. Like I always felt like I struggled with certain things about art. Like I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and you know, art doesn't really, it's not something you're just good at, you know, like you don't just suddenly, like in most cases people who get into art, like you have to learn how to do it, and I didn't have the patience for that. I just wanted to draw the thing that was in my head, and I never could, and it always upset me. So like and I think I'm gonna point the ear something that way. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's like it's always been something that has kind of eluded me, but that I always wanted to get into. And then when I started finding artistic things that I could do where like I could be a bit of a perfectionist and like have it work, you know, and like have it not suck, then I sort of found that like, I don't know how I'll describe it. I guess like that. I guess that it sucks me in. Really, is I guess the easiest way to put it. Like it just draws me straight in, and I can't easily hop back out until like I've done something. So like there's been times when, like back during lockdown, COVID times, my wife and I, then my girlfriend and I, we would like. You know, we'd be on calls a lot of the day, and so it'd be sitting there and we'd be on a call, and she could tell when I started spriting because she would hear me like working at it, like she could hear the clicks and stuff, and I would just be like zoned out the entire call, and she's just like, yep, he's working on a sprite, he's gone, he'll be back sometime. I think do it here. Maybe not. I'll find a way to make that work more, I think. You know, I really enjoy pixel art, and it's always kind of like sad to me when I like take too long off it, and I feel like I have to get a little bit into it. But then it always ends up being like riding a bike. You know, it's like sometimes there's like a sprite or two that are a little bit shakier as I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. But like once I'm back in, like I'm back in it. I kind of chose some like difficult sprites to start with as just some touch-ups, because like even as touch-ups go, like these are pretty complex sprites. I mean, like look at all those spikes, look at all those color splotches and stuff like that, like a splotch there and there and there, you got these stripes, like there's all of this stuff kind of built to make this sprite kind of like a difficult one. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's still fun to just kind of jump into it and hope I can catch myself and kind of hit the ground running with it. I think I want not a 100% even transition, and then similarly this needs to be kind of more like that, because it's like a sleeve that almost ends at the at the heel, because these, you know, obviously are very cat-like, so they're walking on their toes, and then their heel or wrist is kind of this section here. So like I want to try to emphasize that a tiny bit, because like this one looks good, this one's very close, but I think this one could have used ever so slightly. Yeah, I'll do that, I think. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. Alright, yeah. So now I'm gonna start doing a little bit of kind of adding in that darker outline to emphasize certain points, kind of being more in shadow. All right. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, it's kind of an ice fire type tiger thing. Yeah, very, very spiky. Yeah, this is one of the more complex ones we have in the game that we're trying to work on, kind of loosely. Stealing a couple colors from the pre-evolution. They will be tweaked a little bit though. I think making this slightly larger, a little nicer. So yeah, now I want to kind of dial in the shading and lighting a bit. So I want to kind of de-emphasize this leg I don't think its detail is super important. So what I'm kind of doing is I'm darkening it a bit and lowering the amount of detail to the lighting and stuff until it comes to this little foot. This foot I think is fine to have be emphasized a bit more because now it's kind of popped back into the foreground. But while it's in the background, I don't want it to fight too much with this like whisker. For like visual relevance, you know? Yeah, and I think adding that hard outline here, even though this is a light point, I think helps to emphasize that whisker, so I want that. I just put my phone off of vibrate. There we go. So I'm gonna completely reshade this tail. I just kind of want to start from like a nice flat base. Okay, and then I want it to switch to shadow a little bit. It goes down. I'm debating if I keep this ear orange, like the back of the ear being orange type thing. And if I do keep that, do I hint at it on this ear? I think I like the idea of hinting a bit more. So I think actually on the front edge, I'm gonna do this. No. I'll leave it as it is for now. If anything, it's something we can kind of emphasize on the back sprite, that the back of the ears are both orange and the fronts of the ears are both blue. Add a little A there. Make the ear a little. I feel like that's too strong there. I feel like that spike's kind of a little more like bottom heavy, I guess. Like it kind of like droops a bit towards the bottom. That's good. Alright, let's see the color count we're at. Okay, so with the background, I am at the color cap, which means I have one extra color, which means I can do exactly what I was hoping to do and pull in the colors from the baby to start with. Namely, a little bit of ear shading. Okay. So I think what I want to do, the blues here. Maybe nudge them slightly towards blue. Just a little bit more. Like that, I think. So I think this one's going to be slightly less bright. Kind of letting things blend into the background a bit more. I should drink water. I've got this whole glass of water, and I'm always forgetting to drink. Okay. So I covered the blues. Oh, oops. I was like, that's not much darker at all. Let me see if this works a bit better now. Nah, it still feels a bit strong, so I'm gonna leave it. True, I actually do have another color. I might be at my color limit now that I added the extra ear color. I did want to do something with this. Well, actually no, because I'm at 15 now. So I'm good. Never mind. Still good. Because the white is color 15. Alright. Scared myself for a bit. Yeah, maybe I will take the warm tone. Hue 20, okay. Alright, I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna export this. And 65. This is Tindra. And then now it's just a matter of recentering. Make sure that it's still centered. Always good. Alright. Look at that, we're only an hour in and I've got one done. Boom. Shrink that down. It's a bit wide. So you can see I went for some differences here that are pretty obvious when you look at it. Let me just see how they look on stream. I zoom in. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, the color differences are kind of subtle, but you can definitely notice them. And that's kind of what I was hoping for. So now I can actually go down here. Where are ya? Evolution. Look at that. One thing I like is that we've got the poses pretty well aligned between the male and the female. Both of the male sprites look the same direction, both of the female sprites look the same direction. I want to see, did we do that with the evolutions as well? Oh, we didn't. The male turns around. Interesting. That's fine. So the next step is to give it its shiny palette. Which I'm gonna yoink initially from the first stage here, because it's basically the same across this entire line. So that's what I'm gonna grab. Okay, so that was easy so far. Now let's grab the placement for the orange. see, in the original, this ear color goes a little pinker, so I think I'm gonna actually go for that a bit here. Alright, wow. It's actually kind of closer to the original than I thought it would be. That's fine. Original being the baby sprite here, actually, not the original. There we go. Yeah, that's not too far off. And then this color here needs to come from this. There we go. Alright, so it's the shiny. Okay. And now we begin again. But this time, we use the female sprite. There. Look at her. So there is one thing I definitely want to do a bit here, and that's bring in a bit more of the first stage's unique traits, which is like the first stage of the female has let me open her up. Yeah, so she has like these stripes that are based on the ear colors. And it's like, I think bringing some of that in couldn't hurt. So I might try to do that with this one. But I think honestly, so normally this isn't the first thing I would do, but I think on this one, the first thing I'm going to do is align the colors to the new ones that I've got. So that's that. So my process for that is basically just color picking each color in like a specific set of the colors and then changing from there. So darkest orange, shade, normal, highlight. And then same deal here. And we'll add the blues. Okay. The ear, I think I'm literally just going to manually do that. So ear highlight, ear shade, ear outline. Now the outline color is actually very similar here. So I'm gonna toss some of that in the mouth. Okay, eye, fang. I think that's all the colors are now within the color space that we're kind of expecting to work with. So you can see this one is like also kind of dithered out the wazoo. Again, I kind of want to change that. Okay, I guess I can't do what I was gonna do with the art in the background to position it better, because the other one was part of like a larger piece, so I could zoom in and kind of smush it around as I needed to. This one's not, so I kind of have to deal with what I got. So the first thing I think I want to do is I want to redefine this mouth shape a little bit. But this here is not. So one thing I'll note, this is probably not going to be part of the face, but we'll see. So I'm not entirely sure why Mike went for different claws on this one than on the other one. The claws on this one's art are basically the same, so I think that's kind of what I want to do, is bring them more in line. Maybe he did want them to be more intense, so you know, let's make them more intense, but let's give them a sense of like directionality that makes sense for this a little bit. Kind of works with the pose. think this back one works better if they're all more closely aligned, so I'm gonna do that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull them forward that way. Here, I should add a background that's similar to the old one. I don't have that old one anymore, so I'm just gonna use this. There we go. Just to make it a little clearer, like where I'm working, and you know, not force you to stare at the, you know, little grid behind it all day. So I think one thing I want to do is try to find a way. Looking at the tail stripes, I definitely want to add the third one because there's a third one in the art. So I think it's going to be here. Kind of like that. I think I like that shape more. So that's pretty pretty good. And I want to add the head dot as well, because this one doesn't have one. What does the... I guess the female baby doesn't, but the male has like a black dot. And it becomes a blue dot, but the female doesn't have a dot, so I'm just gonna not give her a dot. She's gonna stay dotless. But what I am gonna do is, as with the other one, pull in a couple colors to make these claws not just true black, because it looks stupid. When I add the actual sort of black outlining to the lower extremities and stuff. So I'm kind of bringing in this dark gray again. Could stay all dark gray. Actually, yeah, looks like this. Oh yeah, what if I do it like that? Then if once I add this, it would kind of screw that up. So I want to bring a little bit of the harder angle back to this. I feel like I do that a lot, that little suck in thing when I'm doing these. Alright, so the gears are turning noise right there. I was gonna say, I feel like this one's quieter. It is. I turned up the volume in the background music ever so slightly. Because the Metroid Prime original Talon overworld theme is a bit quieter than the other stuff. Original as in when you first land, not the later exploration, because then it has a different theme. Which kind of makes me sad because I love this one so much, but it's also a really cool touch because it makes it feel a bit more adventurous. So. kind of adding in the missing hind leg. Now this one I think needs to go up more. Trying to make this look not too weird and like disjointed or anything. Like I don't want it to look like it doesn't belong there, but I also don't want it to look No, I think that's pretty good for now. I'm probably gonna retouch that more, but I just wanted to add that leg in. Add more suggestion of more leg. This one's in a pose where you just would see more of it, and I was able to see that in the initial artwork that Anza had done. Anza being the artist who worked on this. In the initial work that he did, I could see he almost had a leg there. I could see he erased it. And I was like, I'm putting the leg back. Leg is back on the menu. So, that's that. Yeah, that's more of a spot where the fluff is overtaking the body. Right here. So I think I definitely want to have that. I'm trying to like keep in mind what's in front of what. Maybe. Yeah, maybe the body would be in front, kind of like here-ish, but not elsewhere. Just to emphasize it a bit more, I'm gonna add a little bit sticking off further. Yeah, no, that makes it too big. Yeah, no, that's actually pretty good. Oh, but this one has blue ears. I see. Unlike the male. Maybe I could make the front of this orange since the back of that's orange, kind of like reverse them. That could be interesting. Nah, it's already looking bad. Never mind, call them that before I even start it. Okay. This one's kind of got a simpler body to shade, at least. Less, like, pattern to it. So this will be a pretty easy one, I think, to handle the shading for. gonna kind of give myself like a flatter starting point. Okay. This one's like so much more scrunched up, so there's like a lot of spots where I'm like really having to like focus and like make sure I'm doing everything I can to kind of get the shading and stuff kind of where it needs to be. kind of suggests that there's claws there. I think I kind of like that a little bit more. So I think that's pretty good. But I'm not also the only person who gets the final say, so. Either way, I think that's where I'm gonna end the sprite. Alright, 165. Tindra F. And then, since we already have its colors matching, I can just set the color map to the shiny is image 7. Okay. Ah! Why are you differently arranged? You know what? I bet I know. I have to index it and make sure to not remove unused colors. That rearranges the color map. And now if I go colors map, set color map. Yep, there it is. Oh, wait, before I do that, I'm remembering I was going to add a little touch of what it used to have being like a red stripe. So I do want to use some of that before I stop. I think I'll do that on the I'll do that on the tail and make these red instead of orange. And then, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make the tail orange. Like everything that's come out of that section is going to be orange. It's a bit hard to read though. So I'm gonna undo that, but I'm gonna keep this red. I like that little slight throwback to the first stage. Now I'm going to map it, set color map to that. Now you can especially see that this is a different color than the red. So now that I have that, oh, good on. So once again, I'm gonna see how it looks on stream because I don't have the best preview here. It's not exactly to scale with the stream. Oh, I like that a lot. Zooming in, that is a nice comparison. I like that. Alright. Those are the two sprites I was going to do today. So I gotta go send these to our Discord where we can discuss if this looks good. If these are in fact better than the initial ones or if there are any other changes that need made. So I'm going to go do that. But yeah. So thank you so much if you joined me live or after the fact. Either way is cool with me as long as you had some fun. That said, I am going to go do human things as humans do, and you probably should too. So, thanks so much. Goodbye, and I will see y'all next week. Bye!